swing of the right leg, and we're underway.
Here we go.
You know what time the game starts? All right, here we go, fellas. Let's have a little fun today. Is anybody else tired, or is it just me? I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
From the goal line of 5 and 10, the big through a hole to the 20, to the 30, outside to the 40. He may be gone. Midfield to the 40, the 30, the 25, 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown for Desmond Howard.
What's going on, Packers fans? Welcome to another edition of PWW Halftime Hits. I'm Matt Frick. Alongside me is Ryan Schoberg. Ryan, what the hell is going on, man? Week 17 edition of Packers Halftime Hits with 3 seconds left in the half, but we imagine it'll be 21-13 going into the second half.
Not a whole lot, man. It's weird that it's week 17 already. Year has flown by, but it's all fun and games when you're watching a team like this head into the playoffs.
100%. Defense playing really, really strong this afternoon. That's been really, really fun to see thus far. Obviously, one special team miscue by Tavon Austin. His longest punt return on the year, but unfortunately, working for a little bit too many extra yards and going downhill that way. But Aaron Rodgers, I believe, was he perfect for the first half, or do you have one incomplete? Perfect. Just spreading the ball around, a couple great reads, especially the one on MVS, knowing that he was going to have single coverage with Raekwon Swift. But, I mean, this has been a great half for the Packers. The score is only a one-score game, but overall, I'm pretty pleased with the first half of play. What are your thoughts?
Dominique Dafney will be on the roster in 2021. He'll take that Mercedes Lewis role, add a little bit more flair to it, I guess you could say. He's a lot like Jay Sternberg. He's a lot like Josiah DeGuara, but you can't have enough H-back types in this Matt LaFleur offense. They take advantage. They use his strengths very well. And Rodgers already looks like he trusts him. So, I mean, that's kind of my bucket for the offseason is Dominique Dafney will be on the roster in 2021. Rest of the first half, MVS has the most MVS stat line of all time, 2 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. 0 drops. That's the big one. Christian Kirksey played a good half for his limited snap, so that's good to see. He hasn't really shown up a whole lot all of this year, but it was really good to see Jair Alexander shut Cole Kmet up. He was chirping the whole first quarter, chirping to the whole defense, and then he puts the ball on the ground, sets up a Packers touchdown. Doesn't get any better than that.
I mean, to your point, like Cole Kmet's been very consistent for them outside of David Montgomery in the first half, but really just the plays by the defense. I mean, definitely going after the strips this afternoon between Amos and Jair, working towards the whistle, which is fantastic, and getting some good pass rush in there. Nothing really from the front, the main 4 guys we would normally see. Kirksey getting that sack in there, little Damon Harrison sprinkled in, but overall just the defense just flying around. Kevin King making really, really great plays, to be honest. I've just, whether it's in pass deflection or in the run support, or tackling guys in the flats, that's been fun thus far. Dominique Dafney, really, just 2021 roster already. He's making a case for special teamer, like as far as if he's getting on special teams and getting catches, but that tight end class. But I mean, I do have a soft spot in my heart because Dafney's probably the closest we'll get to a fullback on the Packers' current roster, and he fits the mold for me there. So I guess the one thing I wanted to get to as we were kind of trending towards the halftime hits here is I talked about earlier in the week on Pack a Day podcast, like assuming Montgomery would get his, I thought Trubisky would come back to life, which is both have been the case, but I've completely missed on Allen Robinson being involved and specifically Jimmy Graham. What the hell is going on? I can chalk up the Allen Robinson being shut down to Jair, right? We still need to come up with a really, really clever nickname for Jair's body of mass of land that he locks down. It's on an island, it's on a peninsula, something to that reflect. But Jimmy Graham, really not a factor at all in the first half. What's the deal there?
It's really weird trying to watch a team use Jimmy Graham as a blocker more than a receiver. And that's what they've been doing in the first half. On one of the Packers sacks where Christian Kirksey kind of read the play, swooped around and got Trubisky about 6 yards back, Jimmy Graham was used as a blocker. He could have either taken Zadarius Smith or he could have taken Christian Kirksey. He didn't take either. He just kind of did the old Jimmy Graham Olay blocking, and Trubisky was left for dead. So that was nice to see. It reminded me a lot of his green and gold days. Cole Kmet, yeah, you got to take your hats off to him for the Chicago offense. He's been a sign of life for them, but obviously that fumble was huge with Jair Alexander playing like an all-pro. And then Allen Robinson, where is he? You'd think that this team would get him really involved, especially going against Devontae Adams, kind of mixing him all around. Jair hasn't been following him, so you'd think that they would just keep him on the other side or in the slot somewhere away from Jair and go to him. But Darnell Mooney, I think is his name, rookie, pretty stud player so far this year for Chicago, has come up with a couple plays for him. So really just shut down Montgomery, force Mitchell Trubisky to beat you. And I think that's kind of the blueprint going forward for the Packers in the second half here.
Gary Beatty, friend of the show as always. Jair Jail. Not awful. I love the double letter situation, but yeah, Mooney's an interesting cat to me. Like, because I assumed Anthony Miller coming into his second year would have taken the role of Darryl Mooney. Anthony Miller really hasn't been too much a part of the offense this entire year. Maybe sprinkled in. Definitely hasn't been too much of a game plan in week 17 here. And Darryl Mooney just kind of a under the radar guy. But like you said, they're not following Allen Robinson really. There was a few times where they finally mentioned that Allen Robinson, I think coming back from a commercial break, didn't have any catches yet. And then the ensuing play, they still didn't have Jair over the top of him. So I'm like, well, he hasn't been following him pretty much all game, unless this is one outlier play. But overall, what do you think this offense is at right now? Like, are you happy where it's at right now in the passing game? Obviously, it's been far more air game than it was last week. Obviously, that was the AJ Dillon coming out party. Are you surprised they haven't ran the ball as much in the first half thus far?
I think that's a Akeem Hicks factor. Last game when the Packers really ran all over Chicago, Akeem Hicks wasn't playing. And for my money, he's the best run defender in the league. He really changes the way that Chicago can play defense. And also, I think it's a little bit to do with David Bakhtiari being out. I mean, this offensive line, while I don't think they've given up a sack yet, it's been noticeably different as far as pressure getting to the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers had to get rid of it about a second, maybe two earlier than normal. And the Bears are getting after him a little bit more. So if there is any cause for concern, it is that a little bit. But you don't see too many defensive fronts that are as good as Chicago's going forward. So I guess that's a good sign for Green Bay. But little highlights from the first half, Tavon fumble. We were all excited for Tavon Austin coming in, puts the ball on the ground on the first real return opportunity that he's had for Green Bay. Snacks Harrison got 5 to 10 snaps, actually put a guy on skates on one play, broke his ankle. So that was good to see for the old-time vet down there on the defensive line. MVS sighting, that's always good. And then we already touched on Daphne, Jordan Love's favorite target from college, but he's playing good. I like him. And it says a lot that Jay Sternberger is healthy and was a healthy scratch for Dominique Daphne. So I think that says a lot about going forward, what this team is kind of seeing with those two.
Awesome stuff. I mean, yeah, the Sternberger scratch is bizarre. I guess you thought he was still battling. It was a concussion for a while, and seeing Daphne be, I think it's just his versatility more than maybe it is with Sternberger. That's huge, but are you surprised that Damon Harrison was able to play? Because I was convinced as soon as they signed him, like, there's no way he's playing this week. I'm hoping and praying we get the first round bye. Like, did you hear anything? Like, I mean, I know this is going to put you on the spot here, but like, how did he just slip through the cracks essentially? Like, I thought you had to come in and get tested. Did they have him maybe tested before? Like, I don't understand how he was able to play this week. Do you know anything else besides what I'm trying to just ramble?
Not sure 100% here, but I think if you're signed directly from another team, directly claimed, that means you've been going through all the COVID protocols as the season's been going on. He was with Seattle before Green Bay, and he was actually on the practice field 8 minutes before he was even claimed by Green Bay. So that says how excited he was to come up here, have a chance at a ring this late in his career when he hasn't won one, and really get after it for this team. Playing 10, 15 snaps a game is all they'll really need. So just do your job, know your role, and go forward.
Absolutely. Just as the comment on the bottom, let 12 dominate as he's done all year. Go Pack, go. He's
locked it up.
Crushing it. He for sure. I think I saw a tweet earlier, maybe during the noon games, saying that, it's now Josh Allen's coming for the belt or the MVP. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, no disrespect to what the Bills are doing. This is the best offense I've ever seen them play in my entire life. Never thought Josh Allen to make this type of leap. And just Stephon Diggs has filled in very, very well in that receiving game. Didn't expect that, but it's Rodgers at this point. Good point with Harrison. I didn't think of that. Like, he's not a street free agent. He essentially was on the team and was going through protocol, so it would be kind of bullshit for them to have him sit out for whatever amount of days is 7 days, 10 days, whatever it is. Yeah, Gary, can't disagree with you, man. Make Trubisky throw the ball. I think he's under 100 yards right now. He might have gotten past it with that last drive they had there with a couple dump offs, but I mean, it's a typical Mitch Trubisky game, right? High percentage throws, low risk. Don't push the ball too far downfield. They are able to run the ball, which is basically helping Mitch Trubisky and that offense stay alive. I'm not surprised that they're giving up the runs they are to Montgomery, but I think the way they're gang tackling, going after the ball, playing through the whistle has been fun. Do you expect there to be more turnovers in the second half by the Packers? I guess taking the ball away, or do you think? I assume at this point they're going to get a pick. It just seems like they've been breaking that too much. Any idea if you agree with me or who it would be?
That's what I was going to say. I'm thinking a pick for the second half by one of the safeties. Either Darnell Savage is going to continue his just savagery of play in the defensive backfield, or Adrian Amos is going to get a little bit of payback on Chicago like he did in his first ever game against the Bears. On the defensive side of the ball, I think you take that Tennessee Titans blueprint and you insert it right into this game. You put 7, 8 guys in the box like you did against Henry for Montgomery. Montgomery's not the same runner that Henry is, but you essentially force Trubisky to beat you. This defensive backfield, counting Kevin King, is playing good ball right now. So you put Jair on one side, completely lock it down, give Kevin King a little help on the other side, and there's your game plan for the second half for the defense.
Absolutely. I like that adjustment from you there. I think that's solid. Like, why not make them try to throw it with Trubisky? Let Allen Robinson maybe be a focal point of the game, but I'm very confident whoever they would line up between King or Jair at this point would be able to slow him down. Saw some snow flurries. Any chance the Packers second half adjustments on offense start running the ball a little bit more? Do you think it's still going to be a little bit of a throw around game right now from Rodgers?
What did A.J. Dillon do to not get any carries? He got 1 carry in the first half, but this is prime A.J. Dillon time. You have the shitty turf of Soldier Field. You have cold weather. You have a little bit of wind, and you have some snow flurries falling down. So get the big truck out there and have him start going over Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack and company down in the front 7. But, oh, man, I hope they run the ball a little bit more. All 3 backs are capable. All 3 backs are good if all 3 are counted on here in the second half. But I'd like to see Rodgers just go for like 150 to 200 more yards in this second half, like 3 or 4 more touchdowns, 6 touchdowns on the day, some crap like that, and really just put the hammer down on that MVP award, the first round bye, head into the playoffs on a high, and see who we get in the divisional round.
Gosh, if he clips that 50 burger for touchdowns, that would be incredible. I wouldn't hate to see that, really. If they're going to sling it around and really just beat the hell out of the Bears, that would be fantastic. Other than that, as we progress towards the postseason here, keep checking us out on PackersWorldwide.com. Check out the halftime hits whenever the games are. But one final note, I think it's just super important. You mentioned a little bit about not being able to maybe run the ball as effectively earlier on this halftime show, but just the offensive line. I mean, I can't say enough good things. Now you got Billy Turner from one to the right side, back to the left side with David out. It's just been fantastic just to see how smooth
Rodman.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman all over the line.
But it's just it's been awesome, and we appreciate everyone following along, and we appreciate the kind words. But really, this offensive line, I can't say enough good things about. We've had many, many years where we've gone with complete just headaches, and it's fantastic. And keeping Rodgers, keeping that jersey clean has been a big thing. Are we got the kickoff there? I saw you
got the kickoff coming. But one last thing, Madden, update Billy Turner, please. Never been above like a 67 or a 68 on Madden. I don't know what's up with that. He's been a great signing. He's gonna keep going on this team going forward, and he's a big factor going forward. So as this kickoff goes, Packers get the ball. Let's put the foot down, all gas, no brake, and let's go Pack.
Go Pack. You guys have a good second half. We'll talk to you later.
Now here's the run-up. Swing of the right leg, and we're underway.
Here we go.
You know what time the game starts? All right, here we go, fellas. Let's have a little fun today. Is anybody else tired, or is it just me? I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.